Hello, friends. Long weekend here in Roscoe, Texas, Martin Luther King Jr. holiday. And during my FUD Fun Time video, uh, I talked about trimming cases at some point. I don't really remember doing it. I haven't gone back and watched the video again. But I got asked a question the other day on the street here in the real world about what did I mean case trimming. So whenever you and I'm not going to get into a whole case trimming video today. I'm just going to kind of show you why we need to. So whenever we run a piece of brass through the resizing die, it has a tendency to stretch because it's lots of things happen when we fire a cartridge. Expansion, contraction. It's a violent thing that happens to this little piece of brass. And eventually, as we shoot those things, they will wear out and they'll no longer be loadable again. Now, you got to look for all those signs of stress. You know, the right ring around the base, the cracks, dents. Anyway, I already talked to death about inspecting brass, I think. But anyway, so to do this, you need a couple of things. You need a good high quality measuring device. I got this set of dial calipers from Hornady. This is what we're going to be using to measure our brass. And something to trim the brass with. It's a pain, but you could trim the brass with your reamer. It takes a freaking long time going back and forth. And it doesn't really get it nice and level. I mean, it takes a lot of tinkering. So you could do it with your reamer. That usually comes with most of your kits that you buy. One of these reamers usually comes with that. I bought one of these Lyman Universal trimmers. Really good. It's got all these little different deals there to go in here, and that's what the brass neck goes into. This is 30 caliber. The last one I did was for a 30 caliber something. This is a 223, and this really makes the trimming of the brass easy once you get it set. In my die box, I've got for all my cartridges, I have one that's already trimmed to the correct length. That way I can set this thing up quicker. So I already got one that is the template. So for 223, which is what we're dealing with right now, the trim length for that is 1.750. And the maximum length, if I'm right, is 1.760. Look it up in the book, please. That's not really a great answer all the time to give to somebody. Kind of a rude answer sometimes. But it is a very good, correct answer. If you don't know or unsure, the loading manuals tell you all these lengths. So, anyway, depending on how the question is asked and where it's asked, that may be a rude answer to give. But it is a correct answer. It's in the book. It is. But don't just say it snarkily. So anyway, this one I've already trimmed the length. And as you can see, it comes in dead on 1.750. So that's what we'll be setting that up to. Now here's one that is once fired. I haven't cleaned it, but it's not dirty. Okay, so we can load it. So we'll measure this one out real quick, and then we're going to run it through the sizing die over here, and then we'll show you what the difference is. So remember, the maximum length this can be, from my memory without me looking back in the book, is 1760. But as you can see on this one here, we come in at 1755. So it's grown a little bit when it got fired if it was started off at 1760. So let's close up our calipers, put them down, and we're going to get us a little size and wax. Talked about that in the size and fun FUD time video. And remember, when somebody's just getting into reloading and they ask you questions, that snarky, it's in the book, is not a great answer. Give them the answer and then tell them to look it up in the book, or show them where it is in the book. We have so many people that don't get into this because folks are snarky to them, and we're supposed to be growing our community, not shutting it out. So anyway, I've got my size and wax on this cartridge, and I'm going to put it into my full length size and die over here. Remember that measurement? We had that 1755. Here we go. Full length it all the way up, bottomed it out, pulled it on out. See how easy that was as compared to that real wonky 30-06 I did if you go back to FUD Fun Time. All right, so now we've got a new one. All right, or let's see what measurement this comes out to now, if it grew any. So let's go ahead and open that up. And we close it up. Oh yeah, look here. And you do this. So we're at 1764. 1764. So this is beyond the maximum length of that case now. So now we'd have to trim this to get it to wherever we need it. Now, when you really get off into the weeds and start really customizing your ammunition, you can figure out by playing around with dimensions what length brass, what bullet seating depth, what case overall length, cartridge overall length your particular rifle likes best. But as you can see, it did grow kind of significantly when we resized it. So this case would need to be trimmed no matter what. Now, let's look at them side by side. And it's, I don't have anything flat to put them on. You can see, golly, that's not good. Let's try this. Let's just put them on something flat, side by side, and come over here. You can see there are obviously two different sizes. But when we get down into the weeds on getting what, not blowing up our guns, are causing, unnecessary malfunctions that we have to deal with. That's where we get into getting in here, doing the work, doing the measurements, and making sure we have the right piece of brass at the right length for our loading stuff. So there is the why, or the how, that our brass grows as we put it through that vicious cycle of firing, cleaning, resizing. So anyway, that's another little look into the world of hand loading. And remember, The book is a guide. The rest is up to you, just like life. Books are good. Always reference that book before you jump off it. And if you've been away from a cartridge for a while, go back to the book, familiarize yourself with it. Can't go wrong there. Don't be afraid to play. And don't be afraid to reach out to other reloaders out there in the world. So, there you go. The views on Definitely Not an Expert. Y'all have fun out there.